Even as a jail administrator, he's someone that's young, he's healthy. In reality, we need that labor, we need that sweat equity, and we will put him out there to work because we do have an aging prison population, jail administration, we have that. So we put these young individuals to work and get some sweat equity out of them since they are young and actually can do the work.
And we talk about life without parole and death row, but for our jurors' education, in Florida, what does a life sentence without parole mean?
A life sentence in the Florida Department of Corrections means from the minute they're brought in, they're assigned an inmate number. He will be assigned an inmate number, and when he dies and leaves in a body bag, he will still have that inmate number. An inmate serving life will never ever get out. There is no parole in the state of Florida, and they're not ever allowed outside the razor wire and the fence of a secured facility.
Damn! What's going on, internet? How y'all feeling out there today? I hope you're feeling, living, and looking as good as I am. And if you are, salute. Stay focused. So check this out. I want to speak a few minutes on the curious and cautionary case of Sean Gathright. Now I can approach it as a lot of the journalists and pundits all over social media could, but I want to give a different perspective. I always like to give a different angle than what may be obvious to you. And I really don't follow the trends. So check this out. This is a kid who's well-traveled. This kid's been to places that some of y'all famous celebrities that y'all idolize. He's been to more places than some of them. I think he's been like to Africa and Spain and all over the place. His dad was, or stepdad was in the Air Force, so he even had like a personal pilot to take him all over the place. That happened to be a male father figure, or just a male figure in his life. Went to all kind of magnet schools and was an intelligent, overall smart kid, right? That devolved into murder. Now, all of these factors that people always point out when there's something that negative happens. He didn't have his father. He grew up in the hood, grew up in the projects. He didn't have nobody to love him. He didn't have this. He didn't have that. Well, here's a kid who had all of those things. After he did the murder, he went to his grandmother's house with the car before going to the club. But how did he get here? That's the psychological and the psychology behind it. Now, I would say being a follower, peer pressure, and absolutely rap music, drill music played a part. Gang culture influenced this child, this kid's mindset, this young man's mindset, to where he wanted to be a real man. But we'll sit around and act like music isn't life imitating artistry and artistry imitating life. We try to play a pendulum game when it's convenient for us. And then when we find ourselves in these precarious, detrimental situations and circumstances in life, we like to attribute it to the system, not having a father, the environment, all of which have a lot of validity. So why won't we do something about it? Why do we want to pick and choose when those things have validity? Instead of looking in the mirror and just saying to ourselves that we have to do better, no matter the situation and circumstance. We must do better. Why can't that just be the foundation that we build upon? Why do we listen to people talking about killing people who look just like us, and we are okay with it just because it makes us feel good, or it has a nice beat, or we're in a club and that's what we want to do? But then when someone such as this kid is influenced by it to the degree where he commits murder, then we talk about how stupid he is because he has such a good life, and this and that, and he's a fool, and we want to denigrate him, which he definitely needs to be denigrated for what he did, and he definitely needs to atone and suffer the consequences for what he did. But a fool only learns from their mistakes, or they never learn. A wise person learns from the mistakes of others. And absolutely within our so-called community, we have plenty of examples in which we should have learned from by now.
OG talk.
Now this kid's up there crying, begging and pleading for leniency after he murdered somebody and went to the club and danced and gloated and bragged about it. And with that mindset, I can guarantee you, if he was had an opportunity to get set free and get another chance at life, that he would go right back into it and get on the internet and talk like he's such a gangster and thugged out and such a real. And I almost can guarantee you that all of his followers will skyrocket. Everybody will talk about how real he is. And we'll just be bigging him up. Whereas if he was on the internet expressing something conscious within his content, it'll get little to no traction. Do with this what you will, do with it what you feel. I'll holler at y'all on the next one. One love.